Good morning, YouTube. Thank you for tuning in on the Saturday Morning Hustle podcast video. Appreciate you guys very much. Special shout out for you guys today. Recording the podcast now. Here we go. Good morning. It's Saturday. I'm in the office. You know what that means. The Saturday Morning Hustle podcast. And today I'm going to do something you really didn't expect. I'm going to tell you it's okay to take a break. It's okay to want off the roller coaster. I have been on a rapid roller coaster about the last 2 weeks with business, personal life, weather, all kinds of factors, most of them out of my control, some not, some in my control, some out of my control. Either way, ups and downs, highs and lows. We've talked about on this podcast before about managing your highs and lows and how you set yourself up for success by not getting too low, not letting any lows, these setbacks, what other people call failures, but we call negative outcomes, to completely stop us. It's not a failure if you don't stop. It's only a failure if you quit. But don't let those lows bring you down to a point where you do fail and quit. At the same time, those highs, when things are going really well, when you're being very successful, the idea that that's how it should always be and that you will always be on top, you'll always be winning, you won't ever have another setback ever again, you won't have a failure ever again, that's a falsehood as well. I've been in that up and down, back and forth roller coaster the last couple of weeks myself, and I was giving permission to myself and giving permission to you at the exact same time to occasionally slow down, take a breath, even take a day off, take two off. There's a thing called vacation. I don't know if you've heard of it. If you're a hustler and grinder like me, you're not really getting a lot of vacation time, but there's a reason that really productive people take vacations. And again, I am talking to myself as much as I'm talking to you guys out there on the podcast, watching the video on YouTube, watching the behind the scenes on IGTV, on Instagram. However you're hearing this message right now, I totally appreciate your hustle. I totally appreciate you listening to the podcast right now. I'm in the office hustling and grinding on Saturday. Hopefully you're in the office hustling and grinding, following the pursuit that makes you happy, that thing you have passion for, outwork the competition while they're still sleeping. All of that. All of it's good. All of it's valid. All of it you need to continue 99% of the time. But occasionally it's okay to take a break. It's actually very good for you to recharge your batteries, to reset yourself, and to reimagine, refocus, just think over from start to finish your why. What are you doing? Why are you working this hard? Who are you working this hard for? Are you working this hard for you? Are you working this hard to do something for your family? Are you trying to impress other people, which is not a great motivator? Are you simply motivated by money, fame, whatever it is? There's positive motivation factors. There's negative motivation factors. There's things you should be paying attention to and things you shouldn't be paying attention to. But it doesn't matter, even if you have the best motivation for the best reasons, you have the best work ethic. If you're really a hustle and grinder, you're really making it happen on the regular, it doesn't matter if you can't finish the job, if you can't complete the success path because you burn out and you fade away. You've heard me many times on this podcast talk about consistency, consistently delivering, consistently meeting the expectations that you set, proving over and over and over again, because people's memories are very, very, very short, your value to them, your value to business as a whole, your value to society, your value to the economic ecosystem, all those good things that we do as entrepreneurs, as business owners, as hustlers and grinders, people on those career paths, on those pursuits of excellence. You have to constantly prove your value, prove that you're willing to outwork the competition, prove what you bring to the table is better and different and unique to you and authentic to you than what the other guy, girl, whatever is bringing to the table. You have to consistently do that. One of the ways to consistently do that is to never stop, consistently go. But you can run out of gas. You can run out of steam. You can tail off. And even though you are meeting deadlines consistently, even though you're producing content consistently, even though you're checking off the boxes on the checklist, the to-do list, you're reaching goals, objectives, all of that, you still might be missing the overall arching achievement of success if you don't have the oomph to get across that finish line. And that means sometimes slowing down. That means sometimes taking a break. That means sometimes taking a vacation. That means what we're doing just right now is stopping the focus on success, stopping the focus on the work ethic, the hustle and grind, and just taking a step back. Just thinking about yourself, your mental health, refocus yourself, recharge those batteries. For some people, it's 10 minutes. For some people, it's 10 hours. For some people, it's 10 days. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself mentally, to get your head in the right space, to get your energy up, to make sure your motivation is in the right order or the right reasons, and make sure that you do continue and understand completely and without a shadow of a doubt have your why in front of you at all times. Why are you doing this? Who are you trying to achieve this for? What are you trying to achieve? And what will you do? Very important. What will you do with that success? What will you do for others? People that are around you, that are near you, that are important to you, the people that have helped you along the way, that are people that are part of your journey, the people that could benefit from you giving back from them as well, whether it's directly hiring them, doing business with them, collaborating with them, or being a mentor, or providing value in some other way to someone else's path. Whatever it is, how are you incorporating that as well? If you can't answer all those questions, if you can't explain quickly and simply and succinctly what your why is, what your motivation is, why it's important to you, why it's important to others, the value that you bring to other people, and what you will do with that success once you achieve it. If you can't explain those things to anyone, then you haven't figured them out. And that's the perfect time to stop the hustle and grind, to stop the work, to not be busy, but instead get very focused on what's important and what will bring you ultimate long-term success. And that long-term success comes from understanding your why, having the right motivations, putting things in the right order, having a process, setting your goals, objectives, strategy, tactics, measurements, the whole nine. The same way you write a business plan is the same way you handle a career path. It's the same way that you act as an entrepreneur. You do these things in this order, so that you can measure success, so that you can see it coming. And the things that you learn along the way, positive and negative, you can incorporate into it, whether it's your personal skill set or the business you're building or the career path that you're on. Or simply a side hustle, a pursuit, something else you want to be great at. You have to do it in this order, in this process. It will not be as effective if you're burnt out, if your motivation's bad, if you really, truly don't feel it, believe it, and want to achieve it for all the right reasons. So take a breath today. Slow down. Make sure you're in order. Make sure your process is in place. Make sure these things are written down. If it's not written down, it's not real. Even if you don't share what's written down with anyone else, it needs to be written down. It needs to be realized in that way that you can look at it. You can share it with someone else if you need to, if you want to, if it's beneficial to you. If it's not, if it's more beneficial to hold it to yourself, that's fine too. Everyone is different in that degree. But don't think simply because you understand it in your head, you have it all there, that you have all the pieces together, and that you don't have gaps. When you write it down, you see if it's complete, start to finish. You understand if you have gaps or not. You understand if you do, how to backfill them, how to add back the value of what you're missing, and then how it circles back, how every time you go through the process, you go back and refine, learn from your mistakes, learn from your successes, and put it into a better process moving forward. If it's written down, if it's documented, if it's something you can visually look at, understand where you're at in the process and how to continually improve it, you will do it, you can do it, you can be successful if you stop right now and you take that deep breath and you take that break and you commit to understanding your why, understanding your process, and being thorough before you put the hustle and grind in. Once you do that, once you put these things in order, once you put them in place, once they're written down, once they're documented, once you understand the process, you know where you're going, you know what success looks like because you've defined it for yourself, You have broken down the big goals into smaller objectives, and from those objectives, you've created tactics in order to achieve them. Once you have done all of that, then it's time to hustle and grind. It's time to outwork the competition. It's time to get up early. It's time to stay late. It's time to go in on Saturday, earn it even on the weekend. Hard work with a plan, with a strategy, with process, highly, highly successful. Effort, grind, hustle, etc., without a plan, without a strategy, without a process, without documentation, without support is just simply busy. Don't be busy to be busy. Be busy to be successful. Be busy working on the thing you've developed. And if it's not in place right now, it's the perfect time to stop and take that break and understand what starts it, what finishes it, and where your work ethic, where your out hustle, out grind, outshine your competitors comes into play. So right now, stop and think about it. You might have all these things in place. You might be prepared. You might be ready to go. Good on you. Get to work, hustle and grind. You may not have everything in place. You may need to take a minute to examine that, do that, then get in on that hustle and grind. If you have it in place and you've been hustling and grinding and you feel yourself slowing down, if you feel like you want off the roller coaster, it's okay to temporarily get off the roller coaster, take a day, take a week, take what you need, understanding that you will get back on. And when you get back on, that you're bringing new perspective, new energy, a fresh fuel tank, whatever it is, and that you will be doubling and tripling down when you get back on that roller coaster. It's okay to want off the roller coaster. It's okay to be burnt out, to be frustrated. It's okay to feel like you're putting work in without seeing it return. It's okay to have those emotions. It's okay to be human. But the more you write it down, the more you have a process, the more you can capitalize on the motivation that comes from it. So good luck with that. Take a break, step off the roller coaster, look around, smell the roses, do whatever you have to do. Spend some time with family. We haven't got to do enough of that this last year because of COVID and other restrictions. It's springtime. The weather's getting better. Everything is happening. The vaccines is coming about. Hopefully we go back to what we would call a normal life without restrictions. That should take some stress off of you, but there's always going to be something. There are always going to be good things. There are always going to be bad things. There's always going to be things that are setbacks. There's going to be things that are trying to create failure in you. Do not let them create failure in you. Instead, learn those lessons, move forward with it, and ultimately achieve success on the other side. So good luck with that. Huge shout out to my guy, Undefeated Bro, over at the Defining Moments podcast. Of course, the America hat, one of my favorites. Got to have it on the video today. If you are listening to the podcast, go check out the video on YouTube for the cool America hat. I'll have a link to his website where you can order some of his swag. You can order some Saturday Morning Hustle swag, Entrepreneur AF, coffee and donuts, all the good stuff on mine shop as well. Appreciate you tuning in to the Saturday Morning Hustle podcast again this week. Great lesson. I hope you took something from it. I know I did. I was speaking to myself as much as I was speaking to you. So until next week, good luck.
Saturday Morning Hustle.